Hello everybody, welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl and I'm here to share our next topic. So today our topic is do not hesitate to reach out to those you haven't heard from. And the reason why I say this is because since 2010 we've had a rise of suicide of 16% according to stats. And I have just had this immense desire to make sure that those around me who have been in my inner circle, and even those that aren't quite in my inner circle but maybe are on the outside of my inner circle, to know that someone remembers them. I can't tell you enough of how many times I have spent time in prayer and a name or someone I haven't seen in a long time comes to my mind. And I would think later after I finished my prayers, I'd be thinking, oh, should I text them just to let them know I thought about them and I was just praying for them. And sometimes I have discovered that that isn't me. That isn't me thinking that somehow I am getting the glory for reaching out to them. But really, it's just I feel impressed that the Holy Spirit put that person in my mind to pray for them and to reach out to them to let them know that they were thought of. And in an age where we are so easily separated because of technology, because we have this sort of culture of I'll text you when I text you, I'll communicate when I feel like communicating, we have become so fractured as a society that we don't know how to unite and communicate in such a way that it bonds us more. And I just found that most of the times when I reached out to people that I hadn't heard from, they'll respond back by saying, I really needed that. I really needed someone to reach out to me to let me know that they thought about me, or it was the perfect timing. There have been multiple such scenarios where I was praying for someone and I had no idea why. And then later I come to find out that they were going through some of the roughest times in their life during that week or maybe during that day. I'm not, particularly certain even what they were struggling with, but I would find out that they had been going through something difficult. And if you feel impressed to reach out to someone and you just feel like, hey, I thought about you, don't hesitate to do it, because you have no idea how just that text, just that outreach of communication could possibly impact their life. And I'm sure you watching it may remember times when it was done for you. And so please, whenever you feel that tug on your heart to reach out, don't hesitate, because we never know what someone is going through. And I think this world just needs a lot more empathy and compassion for one another. And I think that when certain people come to our mind, we should never hesitate to just say, hey, you are being thought of today. Just thought I'd let you know, in case whatever you are going through, whatever hardship, whatever situation you may be struggling with, I don't need to know it, but the Almighty knows it, and I'm lifting you up. So don't take that for granted, because we never know if somebody was going through such a rough time that they were contemplating to, end their life, and your text message may have saved them, or your phone call may have stopped them. Whatever it may be, listen. And I do encourage that you think about those that you may not have heard from in a while. And if you tend to feel like, well, I'm always the one reaching out and no one ever reaches out to me, I've been there, and in all honesty, I find that it can be such a selfish place to be in when we think that way. I'm always the one reaching out. Well, maybe that's the gift that God gave you. Maybe you're meant to be the encourager. And that's something I've had to settle with for myself, is I always found that I was often the ones who reached out to people, and I don't often get that reciprocated back. But then I realized, you know what? That's okay, because the reality is we are meant to shine a light in the people's lives. We are not meant to always be given light. And that's okay. We get it, that light, just by spending time in our word, spending time in our devotion, spending time ingratiating ourselves with fellow believers and learning and growing from each other. That's how we rub our light with one another and we burn brighter. I think that we need to encourage more people to reach out to those, because despite the fact that we have all this technology, I believe that this generation is the loneliest generation. We feed on being, seen on a internet, screen rather than being seen face to face. And I think it's so important that we maintain those connections in a real, authentic, organic way. And so I really hope that we just constantly develop a love for one another, a love and care and compassion and empathy for one another, and to not forget that that's how we were meant and we were designed to be. And just remember what Jesus said to Peter, take care of my sheep. And I pray that we remember there are sheep in all places. They may not be in your church, they may be in someone else's, and that's okay. We can reach out and still be friends and still reach out and be loving and kind regardless. And may your light burn bright. May you live, thrive, and be healthy, guys. Take care. Bye.